welcome to another episode of Municipal Focus. My name is Kevin Tonchi, and I will be your host for the next 30 minutes. Well, today we're going to get into a festive mood. Joining us is a gentleman who is the director of the Whitman Recreation Department.
Recreation Department, yes.
Okay. As Ollie, Amado. Sir.
Kevin.
Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
We've had you on a couple of different times. I like to have you on a regular basis because you have worked really hard over the past couple of years of trying to put programs together. And I think it's fun to see the different things that you and the Rec Commission is able to come up with to be able to provide for the residents of Whitman. And we'll start off on a festive note, as I said,
yes,
as we get the holiday season coming up on Saturday, December 9th, the Christmas Festival.
Oh, yes.
Talk to me about putting together the Christmas Festival.
Well, this is our third annual one. We started it in 2015 to try to fill the gap, as we said, that was missing from Winterfest.
Yeah.
And every year it's growing. This year, more events have been put on it. It starts off at 12 o'clock in the Town Hall Auditorium. Santa Claus will be coming to town. We'll have the auditorium all decorated like we've had in the last couple of years. So that's from 12 to 3. The kids will go up and see Santa, tell them what they want for Christmas. There'll be some free Christmas cookies there and desserts. At the same time that's going on, because there's usually a line, the kids can go downstairs and do arts and crafts in story time with the Whitman Public Library. They'll be downstairs hosting that for us. And we found out last year a lot of the kids were going down there. The line was too big upstairs with Santa Claus, so they'd go down there and make Christmas cards for Santa Claus and then rejoin. So it was pretty fun watching that, how the kids were quick to pick that up. So those events will be going simultaneously from 12 to 3.
Okay. Well, knowing that, any way that you can gain favor with Old St. Nick.
Oh, yes.
Hey, listen, I'd be downstairs as well making a card to make sure that whatever it was that I wanted for Christmas was under the tree. Talk to me about what it's been like to organize an event like this. You mentioned Winterfest. This was I like saying it because I don't think folks believe it, but having a chance to speak with the folks who are part of the Winterfest committee, talking to Richard Rosen and Selectman Chair Carl Kowalski, was supposed to be a one-time only thing, a 1 year, and it turned into 20 years. And then when the committee was like going, we've had our run of it, people are going, hey, this isn't fair. What are we going to do? Here you are, 3 years later. I didn't know if you envisioned that you would be here in year 3, and who knows if you and I will be sitting here in year 10 going, wow, Ollie, 10 years.
Again, this started off real small, and it escalated. It's gotten bigger and bigger, and the townspeople are coming out, actively supporting this. I mean, you can see it on the social media. The calls are starting to come in, and of course now they're talking fireworks and this and that. Again, it's a lot bigger than I envisioned it was going to be originally. But like I said in the past, we're not going to be closing down downtown Whitman for these events. They're just going to be basically the town hall to the park and keep it in that central location.
Isn't it fair to say, though, that this event, a fun event, deserves to set its own course what Winterfest was a great thing, and it had its little intricacies. It had its little events that it had, and the fireworks was one of them, and closing down the center of town was another. Doesn't this event doesn't your event deserve, or this event deserve to be of its own and go in its own direction?
Yeah, and I think it is. I think it is, Kevin. I think it is going in its own direction. And like I said, it is different, although people are sometimes confusing the two. and that's all right. I mean, Winterfest was a real big hit for 20 plus years, so I don't mind people confusing the two. But it is different. It is a more centralized area, more confined, and I think eventually it will encompass more of the park. But that's about it. And I think as long as we concentrate on making it bigger every year and keeping it in that area, I think we'll be very successful. The thing is, if it starts to get, when things get too big, then obviously you're going to end up having the same situation you did with Winterfest, where funding dries up and volunteers start to drop off. And so as long as we keep it the way we're keeping it, running it now, it will get bigger and better every year, but it will also be contained. And I think that's the secret.
And again, you talk about Pictures with Santa Claus from 12 to 3 o'clock. That's at Whitman Town Hall. That'll be in the auditorium.
Yes.
Holiday Storytime and Arts and Crafts. That'll be in the lower level. That's being sponsored by the Whitman Public Library. That's also from 12 to 3. What we haven't mentioned was the train, Santa's Christmas train ride.
Yeah, from 4 o'clock to 7, that's when it goes in the outside area to by the bandstand, the town park, the baseball field there. What we'll have there, you're going to have Santa's train, which will basically, the pickup part will be at the bandstand, and they'll drive around the little pond with the Christmas tree that the DPW does a great job. Bruce Martin and his guys do a great job in decorating that thing and putting it up. And it will go around the pond, come back, drop off their passengers, and then pick up more passengers and just keep on repeating the process. Santa Claus should be there, just like he was last year. After he got done seeing the kids in the auditorium, he did stop by later on. Also, we're going to have a giant slide there that we had last year, an obstacle course, a bouncy, and some other things.
Face painting?
Yes, actually, there's going to be a lady who does the face painting for us during the July 4th event. Will be there. She'll be doing that. Violet the Clown. We're also going to have Teddytown Build-A-Bear will be there as a vendor. So if the kids, want to go over and, I don't know if it's like $10 or $15, if they want to purchase a bear and actually build it themselves, they can do that. They will be there. And there's another vendor, New England Novelties. They sell Christmas hats and decorations and stuff. They're going to be there as well. The Boy Scouts, or Cub Scouts, I'm not sure which one, I forget, will be there selling hot dogs and hot dogs, hot chocolate, and things of that nature. So yeah, it's again, that part is starting to grow. More vendors coming in, more rides. We're also I think we're going to actually, I'll find out today, we'll have some entertainment on the bandstand itself.
Oh.
Whether it'll be like a DJ or a band. We got a couple of avenues we're working on that. So they'll just be strictly playing Christmas music, not so loud that the neighbors down the street will complain, but it will be loud enough just to...
Well, this is from 4 to 7 p.m., so it's a perfect time. And the first thing I thought of when you're talking about taking a ride on the train around the pond, the first thing I think of, Edaville River.
Edaville, yes.
With the broken arm, one of the reindeer or one of the snowmen with the broken arm. Of course, this is years ago, and Edaville has since stepped up its game and
big time.
A lot of changes. But that's what it's reminiscent of, having a little train ride around the pond and seeing all the lights and everything like that, and having, again, you said an obstacle course, a giant slide, face painting. You got Build-A-Bear, and not to mention that you said that there will be entertainment. You're locking that down in the next 24 hours as to whether it's going to be a DJ or somebody who's going to be performing. What's the thought as far as putting this together and this being something that is going to be a day full of events?
I think so. I mean, again, last year we increased it, and it just keeps on. It just keeps on getting bigger and better. Again, you got to go year by year. So once this is over with, we'll start looking into what we can do next year. The other thing is we've got a turnover in the Recreation Board. one new member and another member coming up. And that's going to bring in more ideas,
Fresh blood.
fresh blood, which you need. You need that infusion, the infusion of ideas and the infusion of volunteering. Michelle Lamatina just got appointed, as we saw at the
Selectmen, yep.
Selectmen's meeting.
Yep.
And she's going to bring in a lot of ideas. She's going to bring in a lot of volunteers. And that's going to, again, bring in that infusion that we talked about. And I think we're going to get to a point where we're just going to keep on increasing these programs and these events for the town. It is getting, like I said before, it is getting sometimes hard being a part-time director and running all these programs that seem more full-time than anything else. Like the Christmas event, the Christmas festival, it takes a couple of months to get everything working on and getting everything down.
Do you
to
think
get it going.
people don't realize that? People think it's just a matter of...
I didn't realize that either. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I knew when I was running baseball leagues and other things like that, it took time. But I think you forget that, this takes a couple of... The bigger the event, whether it's like, or a program, like the park program or the pool program or anything like that, the longer it goes on and the bigger it is, you need a lead time of 2 or 3, sometimes 4 months. Like the park and pool program, which starts up in June, I'm working on that January 1st for a long period of time,
Right.
Sometimes sooner. The Christmas event, we started working on that in August. Started hitting at it little by little and then quickly get up to a point where it's ready to roll. So yeah, I mean, I didn't even realize that it takes that long. Some people, I think people think, you pick up a phone call, the phone, or you get on the computer and it's done in a day.
No.
I wish that was the case.
Right.
But it does take a lot of hard work, and especially if you want to make it more interesting every year and you want to add things and adjust things around so you're not just seeing the same boring thing. And to do that, you do have to juggle things to make sure you can achieve that goal.
And also having to work in partnership. Again, you got the library that you're working with. You got other organizations that are...
Busy Bee.
Busy Bee is
Yeah.
going to be a part of this, and they're assisting. Or, you also, I'm sure funding comes into play with this as well.
Yep.
I mean, what's it like to be able to quote? What have you learned from the first two that has been helped to make this a better event this time around?
First two, basically, we learned from what the residents were telling us and sort of going by what they envisioned to a point, obviously. Again, a lot of them are thinking the big Winterfest, and also what they're telling us, hey, it would be nice to do this, it would be nice to do that. And like I told you in the past, I like to grab those ideas and put them together. Some are good, some are, we'll see about it next year and go from there. And again, yeah, it can be tough, but it's rewarding at the same time in the end when you see it finally get put together and watch it take off. And I think this is going to be successful year after year. And again, with new blood coming in, hopefully it will get bigger and better.
Is a lot of it on your shoulders, or do you feel that as a unit with the Recreation Commission, you guys as a unit are able to put these items together, put these events together, whether it's opening of the pool, whether it's of doing something around Easter time or doing fall sports?
Well, the Recreation Commission basically oversees the Recreation Department, the Recreation Director, and implements policy. And it's the Recreation Director's job to run with the programs. But thus being said, they do, from time to time, do help out, give advice, and physically on the ground, helping out in the trenches where it is needed. But they usually meet once a month. We usually meet once a month where the director is, in there sometimes 5 days a week, whether it's answering phone calls and being the point guy for all this. But yeah, we do have the chairman, Joe Cunningham, and the vice chairman, June O'Leary. They will often give assistance and go out there and do what needs to be done. But again, it is a commission that meets once a month, so that's kind of tough because they have things that they're doing, but they do help out quite a bit, more than what their role is. So they do help out quite a bit, and I'm thankful for that. Trust me, I am.
And just to let folks know at home, if you're watching this program, as we're attempting to not only promote the Christmas festival coming up on December 9th, but also highlight other events that are coming up in 2018, just to kind of tease them things that Ollie is working on. But if you miss anything that we've discussed, this program will re-air. And also we have a community bulletin board page that lists the activities, and also if you're looking for information, how you can contact the Recreation Department, which is technically just a recreation@whitman-ma.gov. If you have a question or if you're looking for more information, it's definitely that easy. Kind of, if you could, put 2017 into perspective before we push ahead and talk about 2018. What was it like this year? Kind of, you teased it a little bit where you're sitting down in January and you're discussing how to be able to open the pool, during the 4th of July or in June or what have you, stuff like that.
2017 was extremely busy. It went beyond what I think we thought it would be. The numbers for the park program and the pool program were sky high. I mean, it was just unbelievable. And the 4th of July, the Family Fun Day was unbelievable. It was a lot more work this year was put into the park and pool program than in previous years, and it's paid off. And to the point where in 2018, the park program is going to go from 5 weeks to 7 weeks. So there's going to be a 2-week increase, and that was basically what the parents were looking for, an additional 2 weeks to have that capability to drop their kids off so they can either work or do what they need to do. And the kids actually, which was an amazing thing, the kids were actually saying, I wish this started 2 weeks earlier, or I wish it went a week later. So listening to them and listening to what the parents said, we increased that. The pool program, which has been 9 weeks, is now going to 11 weeks.
Wow.
So that's what we're doing. And again, just by adding those extra weeks, it's going to add more availability for the town residents to enjoy the pool longer, to be able to put them in the summer park program. And it's a lot more work for the recreation director and the commission,
right,
which is fine by me. I'd rather see that than, the kids have more fun than not.
Well, and it's also a way to, and we're sitting here, we're guilty, we have, our technology with us, but how often are you walking in the malls? Doesn't matter whether it's the South Shore Plaza, or if you're down at the Kingston Collection.
Or driving your car.
Or you're driving your car, and you see people in groups, and a lot of times people are on their smartphones, and a lot of times the kids are glued to their phones, and so if you can detach them from the device and have them be active, like we pretended to do when we were kids. Get them outside, in an outside environment, be interacting instead of interacting on social media using technology. They can be doing it in person, face to face, which I would think that's one thing that parents have or residents have said to you as well. Yes, no?
Yes. In fact, a lot of the parents were happy that during the spring vacation program, that's a new one that we started last year, we're going to continue it. And with the summer park program, we do not allow the kids to be on their cell phone, their iPhones. During that time, they're not allowed. They can check it when they're having their lunch or their snack. After that, they got to put it away. There's a place.
How do you enforce that?
Well, basically, we tell the staff members, hey, tell them to put it in their bag, And the kids do, because you're giving them another option, another alternative. They're playing, they're doing arts and crafts, they're running around, playing sports and games, or they're swimming. So obviously iPhones and water don't really
Don't mix.
Don't mix.
Not mix, no.
So
Not yet, anyway.
yeah, as long as you keep them busy and entertained, they don't need to be on that. So it's a lot easier to have them put it away and get into the fun, the real fun, instead of being glued to a screen on a phone.
Something to definitely to keep in mind when it comes to stuff like that is just to find a way to keep our kids entertained, other than by giving them a DVD player or giving them a phone. We've got kind of burned through most of our program talking about the upcoming Christmas festival, talking about 2017, the year that was, 2018. What do you got on the horizon for next year?
Well, 2018, it will start off with the Easter egg hunt. I believe it's going to be at the Town Hall Auditorium, March 24th. That's in the process of getting that. We should have that all set up by the next couple of weeks. After that, you got the spring vacation program, second year in a row now with that. The park and pool program, we've already talked about how those are coming in. They will be increased on the weeks, how many weeks. During the summertime, we're also going to have a summer outdoor basketball league or tournament.
Really?
Kids, yeah.
Like a 3-on-3, 4-on-4? What are you doing?
That's yet to be determined. I got to sit down and talk to the chairman, who's big in that, and see how we want to do it. Whether it's just going to be a small little summer pickup league, or it'll be a tournament, 3-on-3, 5, whatever it's going to be. That will be in the summertime, because there's been a real big demand on that. We're also trying to get a volleyball net and have a volleyball tournament. Actually, the volleyball net has been ordered, so we're just trying to figure a place where myself and Bruce Martin, the DPW, will be sitting down trying to figure out where to actually put this. So you have that. You have, again, the Street Hockey League that will be in November of next year, 2018. The Halloween event, outdoor, summertime outdoor movies. We will be doing that. There's 2 dates that we're looking at. Movies Under the Stars.
Okay. Now, are you going to borrow? I know you're busy. We've talked about Busy Bee being
Yes.
a part of the Christmas festival, along with the Whitman Public Library. Are you going to go to them for one of those big blow-up screens,
Yes.
something like that? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. We have a good working relationship with them. They do a lot for the community. Jim Coffey and Sal Longo. I mean, a lot that they put in for us and help us out. It's amazing. And it's great to know that you have companies like that are willing to contribute, their time and their resources for the community. And it's nice. It's very warming knowing that there's people like that out there who care about the community as much as we do. So.
How many nights are you going to do as far as the outdoor, the movies under the stars, and what kind of movies are you going to do?
The movies on at least two dates, end of June, and I believe first week of August is what we're looking at. The movie selection is something that we'll probably put out on social media, like a survey of what the parents think for a certain age group. And then base it on that, because I do think the parents should have input on it.
Yeah.
I mean, they may not, I'll look back and think of what the movies I watched when I was 14 may not be appropriate today, and vice versa. So I'd rather have them make the input. We'll probably put it out like in little survey things, whether it's social media or at any of these events, and we'll take the numbers and look at it and go from there. So that's what and then the Recreation Commission will sit down and decide what's the best movie for that.
Now, it's just a movie, or are there any other things that go along with the Under the Stars? Do you have like
There'll be popcorn and drinks available.
Okay.
Free popcorn, I think it will be, and drinks. anything else we have to look into. Probably start it off small like that. And then as it grows,
This is the first year that you're doing it,
first
right?
year that we're doing it, yeah. And as it grows, then we can add other things in there and make it more like a family festival outing or something to that extent during the summertime.
Anything that we haven't touched upon while we've had you here, but you want to make sure that you at least mention, or do you want to reemphasize anything that we've already, maybe remind folks about the Christmas festival again if you wanted to?
Yeah, again, come out to the Christmas festival, December 9th on Saturday, 12 to 3, center at the town hall, and he'll be there waiting for the kids, the boys and girls.
It's a day full of events.
Day full of events, yep, exactly. There'll be a gap between 3 and 4, obviously, while breaking down over there and then setting up over here. But other than that, yes.
Okay. And if folks want to find out more information, it's just as easy as doing what?
Or you can call the Recreation Commission, 781-618-9758. After a couple of rings, it goes right to my cell phone, so there will be someone to answer you. That's one of the things that we did change over the last year.
Right. And you have a full Recreation Commission, so you don't need any more volunteers, right? You guys are good right now?
Right now we're full, yep.
All right, so that's something that...
Oh, we're soon to be full. We got one person written to be confirmed by the selectmen in January.
Okay.
So,
but that's good. At least you have the bodies. There are other committees and boards that are lucky if they even have anybody, if they have enough people.
yeah, they're struggling. Some boards are struggling.
They're struggling
yes.
because it's a volunteer type of a thing, and getting paid for it. People are a lot of times working 2 jobs, 3 jobs to
Yes.
make ends meet. Well, I want to thank you again for coming in.
Anytime, Kevin. Thank you for having us.
Well, thank you for yourself and the Recreation Commission has worked hard over the past couple of years and worked extremely hard this year to be able to put on a number of new and exciting events that residents can get involved with. And you also are using the things on the side of your head and using your eyes, and that is you're listening. You're listening to what folks are saying and try to implement that, and that's important. And we want to thank you for tuning in to a program like this where we try to inform you as to what's going on in and around the 2 communities that we serve, Whitman and Hanson. And until next time, here on Whitman Hanson Community Access, you have been watching Municipal Focus. Have yourself a great day.
Friends of the Whitman Public Library is a volunteer, nonprofit organization that raises money for the library's programs and activities which are not covered by regular town funding. We have various fundraising events throughout the year, and we could really use your help. The membership form is available at the library and online at whitmanpubliclibrary.org under Get Involved. We also have a Facebook page and a newsletter that we send out 3 or 4 times a year that tells what we've been doing and what's coming up next. We hope that you will consider becoming a member or a volunteer of the Friends so that the library can continue to have their many wonderful and free programs and events. Thank you for your support.